This is the first official podfic for Fool's Gambit, previously known as My Mom Sold Me to the Detective Prince by PanGremlin on AO3. I am Kit, aka PanGremlin. Chapter notes and summaries will be in the description of each chapter episode, along with a playlist containing each chapter in order. Trigger warnings will be included at the beginning of each chapter, and timestamps for those sections are at the top of the description. For those of you listening on AO3 rather than YouTube, all of that information will be in the normal locations, as well as a link to the YouTube playlist if you prefer to listen over there. This is my first time ever recording or editing anything like this, so any advice or constructive criticism is more than welcome. Without further ado, let's begin. Chapter 1. Why is Goro Akechi in my living room? Trigger warnings. Parental neglect. Akira Kurusu lays on gray blankets in a brown bed with his back to a beige wall and stares at a white ceiling. Someone could argue that the bed, wall, blankets, and ceiling are all his, and that he is sitting in his room. It's where he slept and studied and lived for nearly the entirety of his 16 years of life, after all. From this, one might assume he likes gray and beige and white. He does not. In reality, his favorite color is red. Akira has never thought of this room as his, and he doesn't think his parents ever have either. He doesn't even think his parents know that his favorite color is red in the first place. They've definitely never asked. They've never asked him what bed he wants, what color he'd like to paint his room, or what blankets or pillows he'd prefer. Akira isn't allowed to decorate how he wants. He isn't allowed to close his door all the way. He isn't allowed to leave his room even slightly messy. His mother will randomly barge in and go through his meager belongings as if he is hiding something. Akira's opinions don't matter. Appearances do. Akira thinks if they ever had to measure how much they care about appearances against how much they care about Akira, Akira wouldn't win. If they didn't yell it at him constantly, he may even start to think they don't even know his own name. They've never celebrated his birthday or even acknowledged it, and one of them gave birth to him. At least, he thinks she did. He can't be sure, but they've never seemed like the type to want to adopt. Isn't that depressing? No one has ever brought up how he's never had a birthday party, or even wished him a happy birthday. Not even his so-called friends. If it wasn't for the fact that Akira constantly has to fill out school-related paperwork for himself due to his parents not caring, he probably wouldn't even know how old he is, or when he was born. It's a miracle his parents even cared enough to show up at his trial, even if it was just for the first and last days. Maybe it's just because they thought it would be easier than hearing about the important details secondhand. He's not sure how to feel about the trial. It was a farce, that's for certain. Is he angry about it? Sad? Akira's mostly just numb. But to be honest, he hasn't felt much of anything for years now. One thing's for sure. If his parents don't like him before, they fucking hate him now. His friends do too. They haven't talked to him since he got arrested. Not that they talked to him very often beforehand, but oh well. One of them texted him after a week to say that he didn't want to be associated with a criminal and to stop texting him because he was blocking Akira's number. Akira hasn't tried again. He wishes he was more surprised, but really he's always been on the fringes. His so-called friends would hang out without him constantly, and he'd only find out after the fact when they joked and referenced things that had happened the previous day, when they'd all said they were too busy to talk. What is the point of even trying to do anything anymore? He's been expelled from school, his so-called friends don't like him, and his parents hate him more than ever. And no one believes him when he tries to say that he never even attacked that guy. He doesn't ever mention that he wishes he had after what the bastard did to him. It's been almost 8.5 months since he was arrested, and it still doesn't feel real. Nothing does. He stares at his walls some more, contemplating what color he'd paint them if he could. A dark navy blue might be nice. He hasn't been sleeping well since the trial. It's not stress, and it's not like he's been busy since no one cares about him enough to ask him to do much. Aside from his mother turning him into a maid whenever she recalls his existence. Honestly, he's in bed more than ever before. But every time he tries to sleep, he is suddenly flooded with thoughts and emotions he'd rather not confront. Anger, grief, anger, depression, anger, betrayal, anger, anger, anger. If he wasn't so tired all the time, he probably would have snapped by now from how angry he is at pretty much everything these days. His parents, the justice system, his friends, the cops, that asshole who filed charges against him for no fucking reason, and pretty much everything else under the sun, including the sun. It keeps shining in his eyes. When he does sleep, he gets vivid flashes of prison bars and opera music and an old man with a small blonde girl in a blue suit. When he's awake, he sees a tall red demon with a top hat and a wide grin. Akira thinks he's probably going insane, but to be honest, it might as well happen. Being locked in a padded room sounds like it would be a nice break from the world right now. Maybe he'd finally get some damn sleep.
Akira Carousel! Get down here right now!
His mother's piercing yell from downstairs jolts Akira out of his thoughts. As he stands with a groan and begins the trek to his bathroom to get ready, he wonders at the fact that her vocal cords haven't gone on strike yet in protest for how much strain she puts on them. Still, he knows better than to complain or refuse to do what he's told, or even to respond out loud. He momentarily debates whether to just go down as he is, hair a mess, teeth unbrushed, wearing an old rumpled t-shirt and sleep shorts, one sock on and the other lost among his bedsheets. Is the energy it would take to get ready worth it, or would the extra beratement from his mother be more exhausting? Akira decides that he'll get yelled at anyway, he always does. He can never do anything right. He just grabs his phone from the painted beige nightstand. And who would choose to paint something such a dull color? His parents, apparently. And drags himself down the stairs. Akira is mid-yawn, sleepily stumbling to the kitchen and the promise of coffee. It tastes like shit whenever he brews it, but at least it's caffeine. When a voice he'd never expected to hear in real life reaches his ears from the living room. Well, I would have expected that my new ward would have at least put some effort into his appearance for his first meeting with me. Akira turns around, suddenly wide awake, but fully convinced this must be a dream. How else could the famous, and damn hot, high school detective prince Goro Akechi be standing in his living room? Goro is fucking tired. Shido, the bastard, is blackmailing him into taking in some brat to keep an eye on him. Meaning that Shido told Goro he would be doing it, and left the fact that if he didn't, then Shido would financially, socially, and physically ruin him unsaid. Goro heard it regardless. As if Goro doesn't already have enough to worry about. He's not even an adult yet. He shouldn't legally be able to do this, but of course that's no problem when the bastard can just bribe the judge. Goro doesn't really understand why Shido insisted on him being the one to watch this person. Maybe it's just some weird power trip, maybe it's because Shido thinks he can use it to control them both. Who knows? Goro certainly doesn't. Hopefully, whoever this guy is will at least be able to do chores or file paperwork during the year they'll be living together. Maybe Goro will finally have time to get some real sleep between school, detective work, appeasing the media, and Shido's assignments. The bastard had worded it like whoever this guy is will be his live-in servant, but it isn't like there would be much of anything for the person to do. When his new live-in annoyance finally comes downstairs, saving Goro from trying to maintain a conversation with the heinous woman who is apparently the kid's mother, though Goro can't help but wonder if she's secretly a banshee shadow in disguise. Goro honestly has no clue how to feel. He's cute, in a sad way, a bit on the skinny side, pale, average height, rumpled, short, frizzy hair, and dark gray eyes drained of all joy in life. He seems to have only just now dragged himself out of bed at the early hour of 11 a.m., still wearing his pajamas. His fantastically put together outfit consists of a wrinkled and oversized t shirt, which may have once been blue but is now almost gray, with a neckline so stretched out it has slipped down his left shoulder, along with soft black shorts and only one sock. Goro hates him. He puts on his arrogant, I know better than you, Detective Prince smile and says, well, I would have expected that my new ward would have at least put some effort into his appearance for his first meeting with me. The boy freezes mid-step and slowly turns around. Goro has to punch down the urge to laugh at his face, so full of confusion and shock. Has no one told him who his probation guardian is? Well, are you just going to stand there and rudely gaping at me like a fish, or are you going to introduce yourself? What? Have you never seen someone with actual class before? Goro drawls. Before the boy can so much as blink, the obnoxious woman interrupts to screech at him about he is being a terrible host with no manners,
That you laze about
and
my home like a good-for-nothing leech. No, you are also
honestly,
determined to make me a
Goro
laughingstock for the
isn't
entire
listening.
town. This is why your
Although
father
it
is
is
never home.
clear from the
You just
boy's
had to
posture
commit a
that this is a
crime and
regular
assault that poor
occurrence.
innocent man.
It
And
almost
now you
makes
come down here
Goro
like you
feel
own the place.
pity.
And how dare you
Not that
abandon
he'll
me
ever
for
admit
such
it.
esteemed company. You
Still,
rotten,
the woman is
good-for-nothing
clearly not
boy.
stopping
I
on
am
her own,
ashamed of you.
so
You are
to
a failure
save
of a
all of
son.
the
I should
eardrums,
have never
Goro
even let
speaks
you
up.
start.
Please, I was just teasing, ma'am. It is no trouble at all. He turns to the boy, giving a shallow bow. Goro Akechi, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Seeming to come out of a stupor, but still embodying the definition of confusion, the boy bows back. Akira Kurusu. Please, call me Akira. Goro smiles like a charming predator. I look forward to getting to know you, Akira-kun. Inexplicably, watching Akira's cheeks darken with blush feels like a victory. I do hope you know why I'm here. Akira looks over to the Banshee woman, seeming embarrassed. Oh, I don't actually. Sorry. Despite the warning signs, this still surprises Goro. Surely, even with how unpleasant the mother is, someone has told the boy about his trial's outcome? Deciding to think about the implications later, he nods and tells Akira, oh, that's all right. For now, the basics are that you are to serve your year of probation under my supervision. You will attend school, stay with me in my apartment, and on occasion, you may join me at work to file paperwork and such. You are now my responsibility. He pauses to let Akira process the information. It doesn't seem to work. The poor boy looks to be in shock. Wanting to just get things over with as fast as possible, Goro continues. We can discuss more details during the commute to Tokyo and at my apartment. Seeing as you were uninformed until now, would I be correct in assuming you haven't packed yet? Our train leaves in an hour, and the drive to the station takes 30 minutes. So if you need help packing, we should get started immediately. Truthfully, he would much rather be doing anything else, but needs must, and he's had years of practice pretending to be friendly. Akira looks as though his entire world has been instantaneously destroyed in front of him without warning. Perhaps it has. This must all be quite the shock after all. After a full 20 seconds of no reaction, Goro takes a few steps closer and snaps his fingers in front of Akira's face. Are you alright? Surely the prospect of my company isn't so horrible as to cause your death. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. It's okay. Uh, s- uh, sorry. Akira startles and stumbles back, stuttering over apologies so fast that his words become unintelligible. Goro isn't even sure he's breathing. Honestly, calm down. We don't have time for this. Goro grabs Akira's arm and drags him to the stairs as he talks. Come, show me where your room is. Do you have a suitcase, or will we need to find something else to hold your belongings? You'll have to actually get dressed as well. I refuse to be seen with someone so undignified. Akira feels like he's floating. This isn't real. It can't be. This is a dream, or a nightmare. Maybe he got hit by a bus and this is all some weird coma, or he has a concussion and this is a hallucination. There is precedent for that possibility, after all. Or someone dosed him with experimental drugs and this is an abnormally vivid trip. Akira remains in this fugue state as he grabs clothes to wear at random from his dresser, glad that most of his clothing matches pretty well so that he doesn't have to think. Goro Akechi is in his room. Goro Akechi is folding his clothes. Goro Akechi is going to be his kind of roommate. Goro Akechi is asking him, oh shit, Goro Akechi is asking him a question and he isn't paying attention. Akira-kun, are you even listening to me? Akira jolts and looks up from where he'd been staring unseeing at his pants drawer, frozen like a character in a video game when the player is AFK. Huh? Could you please say that again? Maybe he should invent a way to self-destruct. That sounds like a great idea. Akechi aggressively sighs. Ugh. And Akira reaches previously undiscovered levels of shame. I was asking if you have anything else you wish to bring beyond necessities such as clothes and toiletries. Books, a laptop, hobbies, perhaps. I hope you don't have any pets because I don't believe my apartment allows them. Akira actually has to think about that. And isn't that a bit sad? Well, I don't have any pets, so that won't be a problem. I like going on walks sometimes, but oh, that wouldn't count as something to pack. Um, I have journals and a few old books, I guess. Akira decides to shut up. This guy seriously needs to get some more hobbies. Akira thinks he hears Akechi mutter something under his breath about him needing hobbies, but he can't be sure. Regardless, it's probably true. Akira goes into his bathroom, outfit in hand, and closes the door to begin dressing. He discovers that he'd managed to grab one of the only items of clothing he'd bought with his own money, a black, red, and white rosette t-shirt, which luckily still matches the worn black jeans he'd snagged without looking. Most of his clothing is things his mother bought years ago at cheap but still acceptable appearances are everything, and she wouldn't be caught dead in a thrift store, department stores without consulting him, which means they're all plain and neutral colors, or, if he's lucky, shades of blue. Completely bland and without personality. Akira hates it. He can't afford to buy a new wardrobe, though. His parents would never give him an allowance, and his old school had a policy that students couldn't have a job, allegedly, so that they could focus more on studies. His only money comes from mowing lawns or walking dogs during the summer, which doesn't get a lot of clients when his hometown is so small and his parents are so determined to slander his name and call him lazy. He did win a costume contest at school once, which earned him about 17,000 yen. He used some of it to buy this shirt and has been saving the rest for emergencies. Akira puts on his fake glasses. He originally bought them as part of the costume that won the contest, but since then he wears them daily to see how long it will take for his parents to notice and ask. After a few months, he accepted that they never would, but stopping would feel like giving up. He looks in the mirror, eyes dead and dark circles staining his face like bruises. He looks away. Mirrors are not friendly things these days. It's harder to convince himself that he's fine when looking himself in the eyes. Akira brushes his teeth quickly, not wanting to take too long and risk annoying Akechi any more than he already has. He makes a token attempt at brushing his hair, but it's a lost cause. Nothing he ever does manages to tame the frizz. He asked his mother once, years ago, if she would buy him special anti-frizz shampoo. He didn't ask again after she yelled at him about entitlement and being a burden. Akira quickly packs his toiletries before returning to his room, where Akechi seems to have finished packing all the clothes in his dresser and has moved on to his closet. Akira walks to the near totally barren and dusty bookshelf by his desk and grabs the Arsène Lupin series and his various journals off of it. His dad bought him the books as an elementary school graduation present, and it's honestly one of the only times the man has ever acknowledged his existence. Years of rereads and haphazardly tumbling around in his bag have since rendered the spines worn and cracked. Some of the pages are only holding on by scotch tape and dreams, and he's memorized every page in Book 1, down to the shape of the coffee stains on pages 60 and 61. The journals are something he bought with his own money, earned by mowing neighbors' lawns and walking dogs as usual. Something about writing his thoughts down and doodling on pages aimlessly grounds him, and he's kept the habit for years. He holds the books like the precious belongings they are, wrapping them individually in thick sweaters and jackets as he packs them into the duffel bag he's using since he doesn't own a suitcase. He doesn't say anything as he does this, and Akechi doesn't ask. Akira appreciates it. Akechi has nearly finished digging through his closet when he pauses, looking at the inside of the small space with a baffled expression. Akira-kun, would you like to explain why you have a complete, slutty, female police uniform in your closet? Akira doesn't even look back, only half paying attention. Oh, which one? What do you mean, which one? Akechi's voice is shrill. Why the fuck did I say that? Why am I like this? Why? Akira contemplates the benefits of jumping out of his window as he responds, voice 8 octaves higher than normal. Um, well, you see, I'm really enthusiastic about Halloween. Yeah, that's a great answer. No loopholes there. And I like the way the heels make my ass look. Why won't my mouth shut up? I thought you didn't have hobbies, Akechi says, and he has no right to be so funny. But Akira can't help but laugh at how deadpan the other boy is. Once he gets his laughter somewhat under control, still giggling through his words, Akira turns around and says with a smirk, in my defense, you were asking about non-clothing items. Akechi's lips curl into a nearly invisible smile for a barely there moment, a huff of laughter escaping through his nose. For some reason, it feels like a victory in a game he hadn't realized he was playing until now. He never wants it to stop. Akira is all packed in under 30 minutes. His entire life fits into just a duffel bag and his school messenger bag. The room is barren, just an empty desk, bookcase, chair, and bed. Gray blankets still in place. Walking out of the house, Akira realizes his dad is still at work. Just like always, whispers a cruel part of his mind. And his mother's car isn't in the driveway anymore. Gone without even saying goodbye. He's not even surprised, really, but it hurts to discover that they can still find new ways to disappoint him. Akechi looks around once they're in the driveway. Where's your mother? Akira shrugs. Probably left. Why? Akechi looks at him like he's learning some new secret of the world. It's unsettling. She didn't even say anything. You're going to be gone for a year. And not only did she not say goodbye, she didn't even announce she was leaving. That's not normal. I didn't grow up in a good household, and even I know that's not normal. Akira shifts from foot to foot, very uncomfortable at this point. It's whatever. I'm used to it. Can we just go? Akechi grimaces. Well, we could, but I had planned on her driving us to the station. Our train leaves in 35 minutes, and it's almost an hour-long walk. We'll be very lucky to make it in time if we run. To make matters worse, the next train to Tokyo after this one doesn't come for another 5 hours. Well, shit. I'd have put it a bit more eloquently than that, but yes, that does sum up our current predicament pretty nicely. We might as well start walking. By the time we reach Tokyo, it will be well past midnight, but there isn't much we can do about that at this point. Akira nods, and with that, they begin the very long walk to the station. Before they leave, Akira grabs some refillable water bottles from the kitchen since it's summer, and they'll be walking in the heat. There isn't much talking involved, but it's a comfortable silence. After almost 45 minutes of walking, they decide to stop at a konibi 10 minutes from the station, to wait for the next train and eat some instant ramen. Sitting on a bench outside the konibi, while they wait for the noodles to cook in the hot water, Akira decides to ask what he's been wondering the whole day. Why did you agree to take me in? Hmm. Akechi hums, picking splinters off of his cheap wooden chopsticks. When he answers, his voice is carefully neutral and his face is blank. Shido, the man whom you supposedly assaulted, told me to. I take jobs from him sometimes, and he has a lot of power. I couldn't say no. That was a far more honest answer than Akira was expecting. You don't sound too happy about it, he points out, hoping to get a deeper look into whatever goes on inside the life and mind of Goro Akechi. Akechi raises an eyebrow. Would you be happy to suddenly be responsible for some random person you have never met for an entire year when you aren't even an adult yet? Sure, I emancipated myself, but that doesn't make me qualified to be doing this. Akira barks a laugh. Ha! No, I would not, but you know what? I'm pretty happy that you're the one who got saddled with me. Hopefully you agree with me when it's all over. Hmm. Akechi hums doubtfully. Akira will wear him down eventually. Hopefully. It would make living together easier, at least. A few moments pass before Akira speaks again. Oh, and Akechi? The other boy turns to him. Your boss is an asshole, by the way. That startles a full-on cackle out of the boy before he slaps a gloved hand over his mouth, looking completely shocked and slightly betrayed by himself. Slowly, he lowers his hand again, a somewhat unhinged smile on his face, and it's the freest Akira has seen him yet. That may be the smartest thing you've said all day, Akira-kun. End of chapter 1. Okay, so this is just some notes from me, the author slash recorder. Like I said at the beginning, I've never really done anything like this before. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the podfic. It'll be a bit slow for me to record and post this because I'm also simultaneously writing new chapters for my fan fiction, and I'm in my last semester of my sophomore year of college, so I'll be getting my I'll be getting my associate's degree soon. So I'll be pretty busy with that. And I've got a life. I've got a life, and I I have so many hobbies. You have no idea. I have so many hobbies. There's no time to actually like fully dedicate to any one of them. It's the reason that chapters that I post for writing are so slow to come out, and adding this on top of that will be a lot, but I want to. I want to do this. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and so I'm doing it. I hope you enjoy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Here are some bloopers of when my cat came in as I was recording. Oh, hello, Clover. We have cat. There's now a cat here. My yelling scared him. Hi, hey, baby, my baby boy, my beautiful baby boy. Hello, hello. I'm sorry I scared you. Huh. Okay. Hopefully, the sound of Clover batting at the door did not come through. Hi, hi, baby boy. Hello. And then I also no, please do not please don't step on my keyboard while I'm recording. Sir, sir. I love you though. I love you.